In a secularized world, love is secularized. And what do I mean by love is secularized? Love is considered only as eros, only as erotic, only as sexual, only as romantic, only as, mundane. It has totally lost the sense of the divine, and thereby dividing the sociology from religion. And therefore today's love affairs have nothing to do with the religion. You go back into your websites, you go sit before the TV, and you will find that. Today the love is so much secularized, even our children think that if they have to fall in love, if they have to grow in love, they have to move out of religion and be in this so-called eros, secularized, romantic love. And therefore, now this it brings a tremendous problem to the human family and society. Because human person cannot be disintegrated. This is my mind, this is my emotions, or this is my body, and this is my spirit. And therefore, here I stop my religion, and here I start my romance. You cannot divide that way. And therefore, both extremes are wrong. You see, on one hand, we have total eroticism, total sexual ideology, total romantic and passion ideology of sex and what is called a family life. And therefore, we fall in love and we grow in love, and for some years it's fine, and afterwards we give up. And there's a reason why today most of the families are breaking. Because you cannot build a family life just on what that is bodily, just that is what pleasurable, just that gives you because some what is called attraction and some sensationalism. Human person is not an animal. Human person cannot live only on instincts. And therefore, sensation, instinct ideology doesn't make a human person a human person. And this is what the greatest danger of today's secularization. Reducing human person to the level of an animal. The other extreme is also bad. Considering love only as spiritual, platonic, agapic, and therefore nothing mundane, nothing bodily, nothing emotional, nothing romantic. That is another extreme, and church has done that too long. This is not my statement, this is the statement of Benedict XVI, our Pope. We accept that. We accept that. But that doesn't mean we have to leave it aside and go back with the romantic love. No. Human person is a combination of body and soul. Human person is a totality of the divine and human. And therefore, any human act, as long as it is required to be an act of value, act filled with divinity, act filled with respect and value, required to be a synthesis of both eros and agape. And therefore, the value-based life, the sacrifice-based life is a mingling of your body and your spirit, is the only way that they take care of our families to the next destination. As long as that is not done, something basically wrong with our life. Something going to be basically wrong with our families. One of the greatest ideology before my eyes is, those long sessions of talk given by our previous Pope, John Paul II, in the St. Paul's Hall for around 12-13 months, and which are compiled today as the theology of the body. And if they're possible, just go into the what is called again website and download it and read it every day. I tell you, they are mind-boggling. The whole ideology that body is bad, body is hell, body is sin, body filled with concupiscence is lost today. And therefore, we still have people in the Catholic Church, We still have people among us, we still have so traditionalistic and people who consider that is a reality. And therefore, they go back to the Platonic ideologies of saving souls. Sorry. The whole theology of the body doesn't accept that. Body is a gift that Lord has given to us. And therefore, it has to be treated as one of the greatest gifts the Lord has given to us. But not to be used with the animalistic ideology, mind you. But to consider as a gift and use it for God wants it for me. And that is the beauty of life. And therefore, a combination of my divine spirit and together with my human body is the only way out in our family and married life. Now this is what the Pope wants to tell us. This is what Cantalamessa finally synthesizes in his first reflection. Now, together with this, or in the same line of thought, we have the basic ideologies of the Catholic matrimony. What does the canon law, especially on the issue of marriage, speak to us? Speaking about marriage, it says two things. What is the purpose of marriage? The purpose of marriage is twofold. Number one, well-being of the spouses. Number two, procreation and nurturing of children. And as long as these two things are not taken care of, our families cannot be called Christian. And therefore let us reflect a little more on these 2 points. What does it mean, well-being of the couples? Well-being of the partners in marriage. The well-being of the partner simply connotes that I cannot use the other. The other is not an object of my sensation, object of my pleasure, and therefore utilitarianism is ruled out from the foundation. And therefore, just because she is your wife, just because he is your husband, you cannot play fool with each other. Each one is a precious gift of God to each other. Each one is created in the image and likeness of God. And therefore, they are also human beings filled with their humanity and filled with their divinity. And therefore, mutual respect, mutual honor, mutual love, and mutual well-being is a must. How shall we do that? I will straight away give you a five-fold principles. Number one, understand love as sacrifice. Understand love as sacrifice. I'd like to tell you a story, a real life incident. The couple is still living in the United States, in California. Her name is Renee Bombay. She fell in love with a boy called Richard. Within 1 month of their marriage, they had a car accident, and Renee was confined to hospital for 9 long months. And during these months, the doctor finally had to tell her that for the rest of her life, she cannot walk. She had to be confined to the wheelchair. And hearing this, the heavens collapsed on her. She gets into a depression. She finally says, now what's going to be my life hereafter? Why should I live? And her biggest fear was, what would Richard think of me now? Would he leave me? Then if he also leaves me, where would I go? So, mustering courage after some days, she asked Richard, Richard, why do you want me any longer? I'm not of any use to you. Why do you still, cling on to me? You can leave me now. You will be happy with someone else. Richard puts his finger on the lips of Renee and says, honey, we'll never talk about this once again. I have not married you for your body or for your pleasure. I have married you because I love you, and I will take care of you for the rest of my life. gives a tremendous, courage and strength to Rennie. And with that inner satisfaction and tranquility, she begins to hum, some of the old hymns which she knew. As she was humming these hymns or singing on her bed, a sudden thought comes to her mind. God has given me a beautiful voice. I can start singing. I can start composing. I can be a musician. After returning home, within 3 or 4 months, I think, she comes out with her first album. And the name of that album is Strength for the Journey. It's a beautiful song album, but old songs which she has, which she was humming during the hospital. Then after 6 months, she takes one more album. And in that album, that is called You Are the One. And in that there is one song. The third song is You Are the One. You are the one, the only one. And she says, I dedicate this song to 2 people. Number 1, to my God. When I was lying on my bed in the hospital, the one who gave me strength and courage was my God. And therefore, He is the one, the only one. The second was Richard, my husband. He is the one who stood by me all through my life, all through my troubles and difficulties. And therefore, in this world, He is the one and the only one. In the second album, she tells her story. They prayed, they discussed, they went to the doctor, and they consulted.